Hello, welcome back to part 2 of a needle felted bird's nest. And right now we're going to work on the branch and blossoms. Okay, so now you have a little bit of the brown wool that's left over for the branch. And I'm going to tilt this down again so you can see what I'm doing in my working area. So, with this, I'm gonna, you kind of want to compare your nest and kind of see, okay, this is where the branch is going to go. Oh yeah, I just wanted to show you with my nest what I did. I kind of went around it a bit and kind of molded it with my hands. It's not super solid, but I didn't want it to be because that's just how I think the nest looks good. You can felt it for as long as you like, and but I kind of like it a little loosely felted. This one makes a little tiny little bowl. But yeah, you can go around, kind of form it with your hands. Okay, that's the nest. But now we're going to work on the branch. So what I like to do with this is I'm going to just twist it in my hands. We're just going to form a branch shape. The nice thing about this nice natural brown sheep's wool is that it makes a nice tree looking stuff. So it's really good for making like tree bark and anything wooden looking. Okay, so you can see mine. It's getting a little more firm. So just keep rubbing it in your hand. Now, that's probably too long. See, you're not going to want your branch sticking right out. So I'm going to fold it. But remember, you're going to attach it to your nest. So make sure you leave, get a general sense of how big you want to make it. Just by tucking it under and folding it up to your nest. I want to make it a little bit long because I like it when the bird is just kind of perched on the branch. So you want to leave room for the bird to perch on the branch. So yeah, just keep twisting it. Okay, so you kind of have a long branch looking item. And then we're going to put it on our foam mat. And we're going to take our needle. Again, you can use the 38. Change it around, use the 38 and the 40 and see which one you like. But right now, it's going to flatten out a little bit, but that's okay. You'll see, we'll just keep manipulating it until it makes the shape that you want it to be. Right now, I'm just trying to make it more of a solid mass rather than fluffy. Okay. And then we're going to twist it again. And there's no right or wrong. You decide how you want it. It's your little art project. So you can decide how you want your branch. Now, should have told you, make sure you save a tiny little bit because what we're going to do is roll it in our hands. Roll this a little bit. And if you didn't save any and it all went into the branch, just pull a piece off. Should be fine. But we're just going to make a little nub for our branch. A nub, yes, you know what I mean. Make it branch looking. Okay, so you're going to take your little nub and you're going to attach it to the branch, just like that. You see what kind of shape I'm making? It's starting to look a bit like a branch. Now you can kind of manipulate it with your fingers at the end. kind of make it pointier like a branch. Okay, it's flattened again. I'm just going to roll it. Okay, so now it's still a little flat even though I just rolled it, so I'm just going to use my needle. And this is where you're kind of moving the wool a little bit. And you're just manipulating the wool so that you're making it sort of rounding out the edges. This kind of thing is just a matter of, I can't really explain how to do it. You just kind of really just shaping it how you want it with the needle. Okay, that's a pretty good little branch, but our nub is a little round still, so I'm going to work on that a bit. And I'm just going to poke it base to make sure it's really good and attached. So I'm just hanging on to the nub, taking the needle and driving it right through the center of the little nub so that it's going right into the branch. Kind of still forming it with your hands. And then a little more needle softening. So I'm just going along and shaping it. Okay, so I'm pretty satisfied with how mine is. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my nest, and so I've got like an end that I kind of ignored there, because I know this is going to go right under my nest here. I'm going to put it underneath, and then I'm going to come from inside the nest, and I'm going to poke it through the bottom, so that I can really attach that branch to the very bottom of my nest. You don't have to worry about too much what it looks like on the bottom, but if you want, you can just keep felting it so that it just blends in. So you can see we've got a nest here with a little branch sticking out. Okay, so before we move on to the blossoms, so this is what mine looks like. But before we move on to the blossoms, I want to take this bits of green fuzzy wool that you have. I really like this. It's dyed of variegated different greens, and I think it makes really good little bits of mossy plant matter. So I like to take a little bit of this, and we're just going to add it into our nest. Now you can do as much or as little as you want. This one you might want to use your number 40 needle. I find when I'm adding things, if the needle's a little finer, because I'm not actually felting, I'm just actually attaching a bit of wool. And this is totally up to you how you want to make it look. So you can really get it in there, or you can just leave it so that it's really fuzzy, or it's up to you. The more you poke it, the more it just kind of becomes part of the nest. you go. So I'll just tear off little bits of your green fluff. I like to put some right here at the base. It kind of separates the nest from the branch a little bit. Okay. I have a little bit of a hole in my nest here, so I'm actually going to use this to kind of patch it. And you can see it sort of fuzzy. So I'm just gonna kind of go along with my needle and fold it over and then just push it in. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave mine at that. Probably add some more later, but you get the idea. And then probably add a little bit to the actual branch, maybe at the nub. I don't know why I think that word's funny, nub. Okay, so there we go. We have our nest ready for some blossoms. So here's a little branch that I made. This is a different project, but you can kind of see the blossoms. I've made them sort of round. Now you can do them all different styles. The original bird's nest I did them like this. Well, you can see that, but they're kind of fuzzy. So I've kind of altered the way that I've done them, and I've done them so that they're kind of more bulbous. They just look a little neater, tidier like that. Okay. So now we need our bit of pink wool, which I do not have. So much for being prepared. Okay, so I'm gonna stop the video right here, and then I'm going to make the next part of the video be the cherry blossoms. Okay? See you on the next one.